We go live to Lumbini for a conversation with our correspondent Shivanee Thapa, who is already stationed there, to update on the preparation for Indian Prime Minister's visit. Shivanee, are you there?
Yes, Devendra, I can hear you.
I know the atmosphere must be up there for the visit. How are the preparations and what you have got so far?
Well, amidst this hullabaloo of vote counting across the nation, Lumbini is certainly going to steal the spotlight tomorrow, Devendra, because you can see this picturesque and a very, beautiful, sacred, historic, whatever attribute you give it to. Lumbini is all set to welcome one of its most awaited guests. That's the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, tomorrow. And even while the race for vote counting and, all the excitement for it goes on, majority of the VVIPs, including Prime Minister Shivanee Thapa, the Foreign Minister Dr. Narayan Khadka, and many ministers have already flown into Lumbini to take stock of the preparations herein. Lumbini looks all set, very excited for the VIP's visit tomorrow. As you drive along the roadways, the pathways around the Lumbini sacred area, they are well decorated. They put up signs extending warm welcome to their very distinguished dignitary that's arriving tomorrow. And yes, security, of course, that's the major concern. You can see, there are security squads from adjoining districts who have been brought in to ensure that all goes well in course of those 5 or 6 hour long visit of the Indian Prime Minister herein. Plus, there is a presence of the security from Indian sides as well, not visibly on the streets though, but just to oversee that the security situation is well and good.
Of course, the security should be a concern, and of course, there must be a foolproof security for such a high-level visit. Now, have you gotten hold of the agenda so far? The visit's agenda?
Well, I think you've said it all right there. But tomorrow, it's more than the agendas, Devendra. Tomorrow's visit is more of a goodwill visit. And also is being looked forward to as one which is going to add another dimension to Nepal-India relationship. Because if you look at the itinerary of the Prime Minister, the Indian Prime Minister here in Lumbini, he will be engaging himself into a series of activities that includes a very special puja or worship at the Maya Devi temple, the revered Maya Devi temple. And I have been told by the Foreign Minister and the Foreign Ministry as well that this visit of Prime Minister Modi had been very much, taken keen interest by the Prime Minister himself since a long time, and which could not happen because of his busy schedule. So this Buddha Jayanti, the 2566th Buddha Jayanti, has been taken as an opportune time for Prime Minister Modi to come here, pay his homage to Maya Devi, and then there is another lineup of the foundation stone laying of a Buddha Bihar, which is being constructed in support of the Indian Buddhist Confederation here in Lumbini itself. And then, of course, the bilateral issues, we've already talked about it. Some memorandum of understanding relating to cooperation in the education sector is in the focus. And besides that, a lot of groundwork is underway. So we're expecting some 5 or 6 memorandum of understanding to be signed here at Lumbini in the presence of the 2 Prime Ministers, Devendra.
So can we say it's more of a goodwill gesture as a response to Prime Minister Shivanee? There was a recent visit to India. The Indian Prime Minister is reciprocating it with his visit. And as you said, it's more of a educational and cultural MOUs that are being signed tomorrow. So this can be more, as you said, can be taken as a goodwill visit of the Indian Prime Minister, who is coming to Nepal as the Prime Minister of India for the 5th time. That in itself is pretty interesting.
This, Devendra, is his first visit as Prime Minister in his second term as a Prime Minister in India. Now, the Indian Prime Minister choosing to come to Lumbini straight away and not, and not visiting Kathmandu is also being taken as a lot of meaning, in fact. But the Foreign Ministry has already ruled out any such speculation, saying this is simply a courtesy call, a visit that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had already wanted to do it long time back. However, this visit certainly will be taken as an opportunity to lay lay on table some of the mutual concerns, especially, the economic chaos that is being felt in our side of the world owing to the Ukraine crisis. And then certainly there will be much more on the table for discussion between the two prime ministers and the foreign ministers as well, Devendra.
Thank you, Shivanee, so much. And to all our viewers, the special Buddha Jayanti Puja would be live on Nepal television. Our crew has already reached Lumbini for that. I know the temperature is much higher there and the ambience is much hotter there. Thank you so much for the updates. We will be looking at further updates from you there.
Thank you.
We're talking to our correspondent Shivanee Thapa, who is in Lumbini as part of the preparations for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's